Hello everyone, welcome to RedBus channel. In this video, we'll look at the changes to the US visa scheduling website with the new changes that are announced by the US Department of State regarding the Dropbox questions. We'll look at actual screenshots of what the system looks like. We'll also look at how you can schedule an appointment and share some user experiences. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, do subscribe for getting regular updates. So this is what we will cover in this video. We look at a quick background of what this new rule changes, and then what are the questions that are removed, and what it looks for B1, B2, and some of these things. Yeah. So just to give you a background for everybody, right? The U.S. Department of State made some changes on July 25th, where they changed the eligibility, requirements for Dropbox. They technically made a lot of changes, So this is what a brief overview, right? So the main thing is people under age 14, or basically kids under age 14, even age 17 and above, must now go to in-person interviews. And all non-immigrant visa applicants, except some of the ones as we list below, they're all required for visa interviews. Essentially, the H1s, B1, H1s, F1s, Js, L1s, all of them you need to, there's no more Dropbox. All of these people now will have to go to in-person interviews, no more Dropbox for all these guys. So the visa types you see, A1G, all of these, what you see on the screen, these are all diplomatic and official visa types. And there are only certain segments of B1 beta visa applicants if their visa expired within the last 12 months, and they also have to be renewing with full validity. So that's the key requirement of that, right? And also, if for B1, B2 as well, right, they need to be doing in the same country of nationality or residence, and they've never been refused a visa in the past. So this is what the background of the rule changes. So all of these new changes, right, what have been announced are now part of the new system. So that's what has been announced, right? So, I mean, the process to book the appointment has not changed. If you're applying for a visa, depending on the country, right, again, the website changes, but we are only talking about usvisascheduling.com here. There are other websites as well, depending on the country you choose. But for the sake of our discussion today, we'll look at US visa scheduling. So in this screen, right, I mean, in general, you create an account and you fill in a personal information, all of that, right? So after you do that, essentially, you will get an options to select the visa options, like basically which country you're applying, what type of visa, and all of that, right? So this screen has not changed. This is exactly how it used to look in the past. And after this, right, uh, you get a screen, if let's say you're an H1B visa holder, you get a place to enter petition information, all of that, right? So this also has not changed, a DS-160 information. So if it's a different visa type, you may not see this. You may only say DS-160, but this also has not changed. But the main thing is after this, right, as soon as you do these two things, you will not be given an option for the Dropbox questions. So in the past, after that particular section, you would be asked a bunch of questions. Do you live in this country? And, has visa expired? And all of these sorts of things that are typically required for interviewer were asked. Now, all of those do not come. So directly you get a screenshot or a message saying that this visa category does not support interviewers. So technically what they're telling is, they are, basically this was for H1B, but I tried for L1, quite a few other visa types as well. On all of them, you'll get the same message. So you won't even get the options for the interviewer. So this is the fundamental change, the biggest change in the online system, saying that the visa category does not support interviews. And right after this, what happens is basically, the flow is quite simple. Essentially, what happens is after the screen, it'll ask you to add the dependents, and once you add the dependents, then it will ask for document delivery, location, all of that, right? And after that, it goes to the payment screen. So the screen after this is basically standardized. The typical screen, nothing has changed after this. I'm not going to go into all the details. So that's what happens, right? So this is the main change that you can think of. But if you're going for B1, B2, what happens after that particular screen, the visa options, you go to the standard questions of interviewer. In that, there is one small change. They clearly tell that now it's 15 calendar days. In the past, it used to be 7 days. So essentially, what happens is, let's say your visa is expired in the last 12 months. Your appointment should be 15 days before the appointment, before the completion of 1 year. Let's say your visa expired on, I don't know, June 1st of last year, 2024. Now you should apply by May 15th, should be May 15th of basically 2025 should be. So essentially, you need to have 15 days of buffer time for that. That's what they're telling. But other than that, the questions are pretty standardized. Nothing changed for if you're a visa interview. You just clearly 12 months and all of that. So that's the change you see for B1 beta. But otherwise, the rest of the things are all same. Now, if you now, how do we get started, right? So, what if you already have an appointment, a Dropbox appointment post September, and you want to like take the in-person one, or you are looking to apply for this? So, if you already have an application, all you need to do is click on the close the application and start new application. Once you do that, what happens is it creates a new application essentially, and then you will be going through the same visa options and all of that that I covered in the beginning system, right? So where you would go through visa options and then the petition information and all of that, and then you will basically go to the payment options. And here is the tricky part, right? No need to make a new payment again because if unless you exhausted all your rescheduling options, right? So there it will pick up all the previous payment receipt you have done. So the important thing here is, let's say you selected UPI last time for as payment method, you have to select UPI again in the payment option so that you get that receipt as well, right? If you do not, then you don't get that. So this is something that users have observed. So we look at some user experiences, so that you get a sense of what I'm talking about, right? So these are some user experiences. So these are from our community of groups, right, that we manage as part of Redbus US, right? So if you see, you can see that you need to close and start the application. So they just were able to book the first one, right? They were able to book OFC in in-person appointment. So this is pretty straightforward, right? A confirmation of what they've done. So this second person also did the closed Dropbox and start a new application, and it did, right? So all of these clarify that you need to close and start a new application. So that's what they're trying to tell. This next set of experiences, right? So select whatever payment option you select last time, the UPI or bank, right? So the next window you'll see the old receipt in font amount, right? So that's an important one. So also sometimes, when you continue a new review, it will show a new receipt number. So don't be confused. You believe it's generating a new one, but after that you'll be able to do that. So don't be confused. So these are some user feedback, right? Basically what we're getting, right? So once you continue to confirm receipt, then you will basically see the balance is zero and you'll get to able to do that. So these are a bunch of users who are able to do that as well, right? And so these are like full complete experiences, right? Like, who were able to do these things, right? They were able to get an appointment in the first week, second week, So all of these guys are essentially telling that it's removed and they did not get the question and they were able to book the slots. So I mean, it's quite a few experiences that we have on our community groups, right? I mean, we'll put a link in the description for the article that has all the groups information, all of that. You can join that as needed, right? So all in all, the system is updated. If you're waiting to book an appointment, you don't have to do any mistakes now in the system or select wrong answers. You can directly go ahead and in the past some users were trying to do that, which is totally should not do that, right? Now the system is updated, so you won't even have that option. So go ahead and start booking the appointment, right? So some couple of common questions, right? Like, okay, I already have an appointment. If can I book an appointment because it's not September 2nd? And the fact is, the system is updated. At least usvisascheduling.com does not allow you to do that anymore, unless you fall under the typical B1, B2 thing, right? Do you have to pay the fees again? As I said, no need. You don't have to pay the again. You just have to start a new application and use the same payment type. So that's what it is. And has anyone done this using the new system, right? So this also, people were able to do with the new system. So we have tons of users who have done that. So this is essentially real and it has happened, right? So just want to like confirm to everybody that, the system is updated. You can go ahead and start booking the appointment. And if you have any questions, if something is not happening, you can reach out to the customer service and it will work. Again, thank you for watching, folks. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe to getting regular updates. Thank you for your time.